extra time.
How did you find the atmosphere? I mean, obviously pretty quiet. I mean, some of the guys have been commenting that it's almost more quiet than they were expecting, or they suddenly realised just quite how quiet it's going to be.
It is quiet, yeah. I think especially at a ground like this where there's obviously outside of the ground, there's nothing really going on. There's no busy roads or anything, so you've literally got no real noise out there. So it is quiet. We've got to try and create our own atmosphere. It's obviously difficult during a warm-up game. We play a lot of these games, especially like at the start of tour, where you know whatever happens, sort of it's not got the same intensity as a test match. So mentally as well, that obviously changes things up, and it is quiet, but I think it doesn't necessarily change the quality of cricket going on out there. I think it's something we've just got to try and find a way of creating the atmosphere on the pitch, especially when we're on top, or sort of we need to find a bit of energy. But yeah, whether we're going to play a bit of music out the speakers or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, we can find ways of creating our own atmosphere, I'm sure.
It will feel a little bit more atmospheric. You know, once the test match starts, there'll be TV cameras there. You know that people are going to be watching it on the box. Is that would itself create a bit of its own atmosphere, won't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the crowd, when we have the big crowds there and the Barmy Army there, it's amazing. But look, we're still playing Test cricket. It's still the pinnacle. No matter if there's not a single person in the crowd or not, it's still what we all have dreamed of doing. So I think there's still going to be those nerves in the morning and even during the game, because we know so much rides on it. So yeah, I think everyone's just really excited to get going now as well, though, and definitely, like you said, when that test match starts, I think crowd or no crowd, we're going to be really up for it, and we're going to create the atmosphere ourselves, I'm sure.
And for yourself, you've obviously been like everyone else. You'll have spent a long time out of the nets and out of your usual routine. You were hitting it nicely out there. Do you feel like you haven't sort of missed a beat? You're picking up where you left off with England?
I think we're getting there. It's you still, because of obviously such a long stint without picking up a bat, you still every now and again don't feel quite right. But I think you that's natural in a game, natural in the net. Sorry, you get in that sort of situation where you've got to sort of, especially in the nets that we played on some quite spicy wickets against our own bowlers. There's no net bowlers around, so the quality of bowling's been seriously high on some pretty spicy wickets. So sometimes it's trying to sort of get through the net and just keeping a wicket rather than actually just feeling good and finding the middle of the bat. So it's trying to get that balance right. But yeah, I feel like I'm getting there. I felt pretty good in the first innings, and it was nice to spend a bit more time there today. So I think we're all moving in the right direction.
And can I ask, how nice was it to see Sam sitting out there on the boundary edge, watching the last session? It must have been a slightly concerning situation yesterday when we found out he was isolating and getting tested. So nice to be getting the all clear for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're trying to obviously focus on the cricket, but who knows that I don't know how you sort of deal with those situations, but yeah, it's good that he's obviously tested negative for the virus, and he's sort of feeling a lot better and nearly ready to go. So hopefully it was just a quick 24-hour thing, but yeah, it was good to see him out there today.
I know you were Team Butler, but from the experience you had out in the middle when Stokes captain the opposition against you, what was that like? Would you get any impressions of how he might do the job come Wednesday?
I think yes and no. I think having played with him a little bit now and watching how he goes about his cricket and the type of player and the type of bloke he is, I know sort of what the kind of captain he'll be. He'll be open to ideas, I'm sure, but he'll have a pretty clear game plan in his head, and he'll have it all pretty well structured in his mind as well. But it was good to sort of play against him as well and see that kind of things and see how he goes about it. But yeah, I'm sure he's gonna be a great captain as well. But yeah, it was good to play against him.
Ollie, did the bowlers notice any difference not being able to put saliva on the ball? Has it affected swing or?
We're going to have to find a way. I mean, you see some bowlers anyway, especially in the hot country, sort of using their sweat to shine the ball. But it's quite a weird situation, especially when it's cold and windy. You've got to put the ball around for whoever's sweating at the time. You might have done a bit of running recently, chased a ball down, but if you sort of stood in the slips for a few overs and haven't done much moving, you might not be sweating, so you can't really shine the ball. So you've got to chuck it to the man with a bit of sweat on his forehead, use the sweat on his forehead, and give the ball a little rub there, whether that's a bowler or someone who's just done some fielding. But yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a challenge because it's difficult to keep the ball in as good nick without using any sliver. But we'll obviously try and find our ways. And yeah, if it takes a few star jumps at cover, then so be it.
And you probably, I mean, you just got off the field, but the Prime Minister announced that club cricket's going to restart a week on Saturday. Is that presumably, well, that's good news? You must know a lot of people in the club game who are desperate to get out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I've only just found out, obviously, because we're on the pitch, but I think that's amazing news. I've got a group chat. I'm part of Cranley Cricket Club. I've got a group chat with them, and I think that by the looks of it, they're all buzzing, and it's great for them. It's great to get that bit of normality back, and I'm really excited for them all, and I think they're pretty buzzing to go as well. So it's good to have cricket back on our screens and get sort of the country back playing again. I think it's amazing for the sport.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.